I know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done, so in addition to your treasure, we need your talent and time. So I hope that you'll come out and phone bank or walk some precincts and help maybe put out some yard signs. We'd be so happy to see you. But we're here for Bob, our candidate, right? With the Soros-backed prosecutor. So it's really more important than ever to support Republicans like Bob that will bring law and order, that will actually prosecute thefts that are happening across the county and carjackings. Oh, you're going to close it. Okay, sorry. So I hope that you guys can all help come out for the next few months. Election day is, what is it, 100 days? 103. 103 days. So
not like you're counting.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick turnaround. Bob does have an office on North Avenue that phone banking is going to be happening every weekend with Dolly, who will be coordinating that. So feel free to come out. I'm not sure if there's also an app that you can use at home. Is there?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, assuming. But we would appreciate that. We need to bring out those, what we like to call lazy Republicans, the ones that don't always come out. Maybe they're not thrilled with the top of the ticket, but we need to remind them that we have people a little lower down on the ballot that are super important, that affect our actual day-to-day lives here in the city and the suburbs. So that's why I'm supporting Bob, and I hope that you will too. So
I appreciate it. I'm not sure, maybe I don't need a mic.
Yeah, use the mic.
Use the mic.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, everybody there. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I thank my wife for everything you've done, Nick. And she said right before we left the house today, and she gave me a check. And I'm like, we could have gone out to 10 places for dinner with that check. And I say that because I believe in it. And I think everybody in this room does too. I'm going to tell you, I had the knowledge, the temperament, and the integrity to run this office. It's a lot different than what my opponent is. Those of you that know who I am, I've tried cases in this state, up and down this state, in Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Iowa. I'm licensed to practice in New York to try cases too, in federal court and in state courts. I say that because I've had the experience, and when I say I have the knowledge, I rely on other people too. On my Saturday morning law enforcement task force, who tells me what's happening, how the bills are going, judges that I meet with at 26 in California, deputy commissioners, former police officers that I meet every Saturday, help me out in terms of making sure that this office will be run as one of the best in the nation and restore that in the nation. When you talk about integrity, I did not have to pay the Democratic Party $43,000 to get an appellate court position to be unopposed like my candidate. In fact, I didn't pay the Democratic Party anything. So, and the minimal amount of cases that she wrote calls into question what she was doing. I also say that because I was appointed by the Illinois Supreme Court to character and fitness. And they always give me the toughest cases on young people coming through the system to evaluate them and see what we can do, whether they're fit or not to go through with our lawyers. But at the other end, on the Chicago Bar Association, I was the chair of the Judicial Evaluation Committee and judging those that wanted to be judges. that came through our system. And I'm going to tell you that I've heard a lot of things about most thankless jobs. That is really, we found people unqualified, and they still won the election. That's because people don't watch what we're doing and how what we need to do out there. And it's important that as these elections come around in 133 days, we elect the right kind of people. You know, when I was an alderman, I passed probably more legislation than anybody ever in the city council. Everybody said, oh, you know, Bob's at war with Mayor Daley, and the other one that followed right after, what's his name, Ron. But, you know, I was able to utilize and bring in 8,000 jobs to my ward. $350 million into my ward. And that doesn't include the south end of Wacker Drive, lower Wacker Drive, we rebuilt it. You know, I know how to build coalitions, and when I say I probably passed, at some meetings I read 70 ordinances or resolutions or orders, and it doesn't go through to the next meeting, but the 2 meetings down, and we got them all passed, and they're for the safety and security of people in the city. You know, when I created Operation Safe Passage to make sure our kids in every neighborhood got to school safely, I got a call from an alderman who was on his way to jail shortly and said, Bob, and because my picture was in leading a bunch of kids from the Avila homes to a bus stop, he said, Bob, I didn't realize that we were in the business of making sure our kids get to school. I said, Ed, you know what? That's where it all starts. And we got to make sure our kids get good education and they have the right kind of education, because it's so important for our kids. And look at what we have, a failed school system out there. You know, I'm glad that those that are really, as Laura said, come by our offices at 521 West North Avenue. But this Saturday, while some of us are marching in the parade up in Hanover Township, Streamwood, we are also conducting a expungement seminar, and this time, you know, we just recently had one with about 120. This is we have several people up there to make sure that they know how to go through the system and get their records expunged. Now, I was also asked recently, we have diversionary courts, and people say, you know, and I talk about because I think we have to be tough on those who commit, you know, violent crime here in the city. We have to back our police. We have to bring back the old prosecutors who have left this office in this place. We have to back the victims, and we have to break the cycle of crime and corruption that is so prevalent in this city, and it's a necessity. Because if we don't do that, then we'll go nowhere. I want to say I have a few initiatives that I want to bring to that office. One is, and my co-host is back over there, and he said, in Orange Dress or whatever, we just had a seminar, and I know the third person who we had a seminar for lawyers on anti-human trafficking. And raising the issue, because in Chicago we are a global center for human trafficking. Every day through the pandemic, I don't know what the numbers are now, 15,000 to 25,000 acts of prostitution in the Chicago area. I want to make sure that we work with the federal government, and with this infusion of migration that are coming, it's exploded, number one. Number two, I want to deal with the dark side of the web. People don't know that whole dark side of the web, what we're doing. It is an area where we are trafficking humans, we're trafficking drugs, we're trafficking guns. I'm going to put together a task force so people can get together, and you know how they pay for it? Bitcoins. They pay for Bitcoins on the dark web. People are just don't know about it. I'm going to put the right kind of task force together, not just Chicago police, but all of our 136 other suburbs that we have in Cook County and work with the surrounding ones. You know, and I think those kind of initiatives, and as I said, go after those that public corruption. You may have seen the article today on the Sun Times, and Tim Fox has prosecuted some crimes, but not many. You know, and I say this that I have the integrity. There's a big difference that goes on between myself and my opponent. I don't go into black neighborhoods and say one thing, and then say in a white neighborhood another thing. And we know that that's happening, and that's why she's nowhere to be found anymore. We've challenged her to 17 debates, one into every Cook County district to happen, and of course, we've heard nothing from her. But last night, I was interviewed by one of the unions. I hope that you will probably be that close and vote on the executive board. I had an event on the west side, primarily African American, and they were for us. I had the endorsement of a lot of people that have been wrongfully convicted, and they're going to be going door to door in certain neighborhoods in this city. And so it's a big difference in terms, and don't forget, because they all know my opponent convicted an 11-year-old on a coerced confession that was later thrown out, and you know, everybody, those in the black neighborhoods know about it, and so that's why they're supporting it. So I say that, I do want to say to everybody, thank you for coming out. I want to say thank you to Larry Penozzo over here. We went to grade school together, and Scott and Larry saw each other going. Scott said, well, I know Bob for 30 years. And then Larry said, no, I know him 30 years more. On that note, everybody enjoy themselves, have some more food, have some more drink. But I should say what Laura said. We need help. Spread the word. If everybody can spread the word to 10 more people when we speak, we're going to flip this. We have to flip about 150,000 votes, which sounds like a lot, but we've got people in the suburbs working hard. They're going door to door in the city. We've already canvassed for wards, and things are improving all over across the board. So spread the word. Tell people you were here today. Tell people what we stand for. Go to our website and keep on giving. So thank you, everybody.